In this video, I'll share a simple method that rewired my brain to do hard things. First, if you are ambitious but lazy, do this. I had a confession to make. In 9th standard, I was given TC and kicked out of my school due to poor discipline. I was accused of breaking a bench in my classroom, which I did, but not in the way you might think. We were playing a game after school, and while I was running over the table, it broke. Till 9th standard, I had never been a student who was good at studies. After that incident, the management kicked me out without even a first warning. I still vividly remember that after I was given the TC, I went to the school alone, met the principal and apologized, hoping that he would accept me back. He rejected my apology. Then I moved to another school. I studied hard, secured first rank in my school 10th board exam, scored higher than the school topper from my old school, and for securing school first, I even received an award from Dr. A. Shivadanu Pillai, Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan awardee, former CEO and MD of BrahMos Aerospace. So how a person who had never been a studious student able to do that? Science is clear that for a human being to crave and enjoy doing hard things, he must develop intrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation is when you do something for an external reward, such as money or prize. Intrinsic motivation is when you do something for you because the activity feels meaningful and satisfying. To develop intrinsic motivation towards an activity, it must have three elements. Element 1. Value. Did you ever felt humiliated and judged because of your family status? Well, that happened to this auto rickshaw driver's son. When his son was 11 years old, he went to play at a wealthy friend's house. But because of his family background, he was humiliated and thrown out. An older friend later told him, unless his family situation changes, the way people treat may never change. That incident lit a fire inside him. He decided that he would change his family circumstances by becoming an IAS officer. Despite severe financial difficulties, he prepared UPSC Civil Services examination and cracked with All India rank 48, that too in his first attempt at age 22. His name is Govind Jaiswal. Currently, Sir is an IAS officer. Element 1. Value means that the goal must be meaningful to you. Element 2. Mastery. Did you ever see people addicted to playing video games? The video games are designed by experts who understands our psychology but use it in a wrong way. One core addictive element in video games is while we playing, we continuously level up. The same way when we grow our abilities in a particular activity, we get addicted. Element number 3. Expectancy. Expectancy means you are convinced that for sure you will win. Here is how you can apply all three elements using one system. System 1. Success spiral. I read this concept in Motivation Hacker book. Success spiral means we make a small goal first and we achieve success. Then we increase the level of goal slightly. That also we achieve success. Likewise, we gradually increase and it goes on and eventually will be convinced that there is no way to lose. Example, let's say you want to study 16 hours a day. On day 1, set a goal to study 1 hour and achieve that. Next day, increase the goal to study 1 hour 15 minutes and achieve that. Once you keep succeeding, you will eventually convince that no matter what you will study. This is an example of input goal, but mastery and expectancy does not come from achieving inputs. It required achievements from outputs, that is your performance. Your performance has to keep improve over time, and to get performance, the strategy has to be right. So before starting any goal, have a right preparation strategy. If you are a GATE aspirant, I researched and analyzed past 10-year GATE AR1s and reverse engineered their strategies and made a simple preparation strategy that anyone can follow to crack GATE. And I shared it in one of our previous videos. I recommend checking it out. Beyond success spiral, fundamentally, one must be very clear on why pursuing that goal matters to them. If success spiral feels illegal, check this topper. I bet none of us can even touch her feet. This is UPSC AR50 Surabhi Gautam. For those 0.01% who doesn't know her, she was from a small village from MP, the first student from her village to score full marks in maths in 10th board. She was the first in her village in 12th standard to score full marks in maths and science. She was a university topper and gold medalist. She cracked GATE, ISRO, BARC, worked as a BARC scientist. Then she cracked UPSC Engineering Services exam with All India rank 1. Then she prepared UPSC without coaching and cracked UPSC in first attempt with All India rank 50. But did you know all of the achievements happened because of a 2-minute incident that happened in her 5th standard? And That's not a humiliation or disrespect. Rather, it's an accidental science. I'll share about it in the upcoming part. Now, if you're preparing GATE and looking for quality coaching at affordable cost, I recommend GATEWALLAH. With proven rankers this year and industry-leading educators, GATEWALLAH is one of the trusted platform among students. The best part is they cater course for all type of students. If you are in college first year and want to prepare GATE 2029, they have NIRMAAN batch that covers both semester subject and GATE-oriented concepts. Likewise, if you are preparing GATE or ESE 2027 or 2028 or wants a combined preparation for GATE, PSU and college placements, they now have batch for everyone. The batches are powered with doubt support, test with video solutions, topic-wise practice sheets, Kazana and test series. Talking of test series, they had two types. One, regular test series, which tests concepts with topic-wise moderate level questions, best for students building foundation at learning phase. Two, level up test series, designed with high difficulty multi-concept questions to get you ahead of 99% aspirants. The link is in description. Go check it out and apply coupon RAHU500 for extra discount. Once intrinsic motivation is set, then comes the bigger challenge. While researching this project, I studied multiple failed aspirant stories across GATE, Engineering Services Exam, UPSC. I found a harsh reality. Did you ever wonder why aspirants who are having same intelligence, same mental toughness at beginning, some despite 3+ years unable to crack versus few crack the same exam in 1 year? Beyond right strategy, which we discussed previously, there is another factor. Let me prove you with a real incident. This is Neha Bayadwar. Neha, from her younger age, she was a studious student. Notably, she was her university topper while graduation. She cracked SSC exam that she didn't join because Neha had a dream to crack UPSC and serve our nation. Neha started preparing UPSC exam. First attempt, unable to clear it. When she gave her second attempt, she missed by 2 marks. When she gave her third attempt, she missed by 8 marks. Deeply depressed, she analyzed her preparation across 3 failures. She identified her preparation is not qualitative because she was largely distracted by social media. In her next attempt, she switched her phone to a basic phone, did 8 to 10 hours focused study every day, and cracked in that attempt itself. Now, ma'am is an IAS officer. So after setting intrinsic motivation, we must master the art of staying hyper-focused. That you will achieve through System 2, deep work. System 2, Step 1. Social media, cheap foods, porn and bad habits creates excessive dopamine. Dopamine is a pleasure and reward molecule. It generates in our brain while doing activities that makes us feel good. It also gets generated after meaningful activities like studying, exercising. Biologically, once we do activities that generates dopamine, our brains crave for it. But the problem is the amount of dopamine generated will be 2x higher for porn, social media, cheap foods over good habits. Now, we all have dopamine baseline. Imagine it like a water level. Dopamine baseline is our default motivation level when nothing special is happening. If we frequently do bad habits, our brain gets dopamine peaks frequently. Our dopamine baseline gets higher and our brain starts craving high levels of dopamine, which one can get from distracting activities only. The normal life, like just sitting and studying, feels dead and boring. So step 1, reset the dopamine baseline. How can we do that? Dopamine detox for 3 days. It simply means removing or reducing high dopamine activities so your brain's motivation system can come back to normal. System 2, Step 2, activate flow state. Flow state is when you are so deeply focused on one task that everything else fades away. You are fully into it, not checking into clock, and the work feels almost effortless and enjoyable. How to do that? Step 1, always break down a big study task into mini tasks. Step 2, make every task slightly difficult. Goldilocks rule states that when a task is too easy, we'll feel bored. When a task is very difficult, we'll quit. The motivation and focus levels are higher for those tasks which is slightly above difficult to our comfort zone. Now, how can we make a task slightly difficult? There are many ways. One simple method is to add a mild time pressure. Let's say a task requires 1 hour to study. Set a target to study within 50 minutes. Step 3, hunt one by one. System 2, Step 3. I learned this technique from Atomic Habits. It's called 2-minute rule. It simply is, when intimidated, start with a small task that you like. Let's say we want to study subject X fully tomorrow, and let's say subject X is big and difficult and we don't like it. Don't wait for motivation. Instead, pick a small task out of it that you like and start. Just start. That's the key. Once started, it's easy to get going. System 2, Step 4. Take vitamin N daily. Did you know Kipchoge an athlete, an Olympic gold medalist? Even I don't know till researching this video. He, for 23 years straight, cut off social media, commercial events, personal travel, and vast majority of sponsor requests. And result, he became greatest of all time in marathon running. He won 2 Olympic gold medals, set world record in marathon, and much more. He coined the term vitamin N. The N in vitamin N refers no, a framework for cutting all distractions and dopamine activities. System 3, the limitless pill. Let me share a harsh reality. There are things that should be banned because it gives unfair advantage in performance and motivation, yet it is not banned. Have you watched the movie Limitless, where the protagonist takes a pill and suddenly his performance and motivation level rises? Well, these pills exist in real life. Some claim that these are equivalent to steroids. I find a real documented case study. In November 2016, a 20-year-old medical student from Pune, 2 days before one of his SEM exam, was under huge pressure because he realized a lot of syllabus to cover. One of his friends suggested a drug called modafinil. It's called nootropics or smart drugs. These are drugs made to enhance cognitive ability. That student, on day 1 after taking it, he was super active, studied obsessively with great motivation. So he took on day 2 as well. One of his friends recollected the student had become obsessive in studies in those 2 days. But on the exam day, in exam hall, he got blanked out and the question paper was placed in front of him. Despite studied everything, he was not able to remember most concepts. He didn't perform well. Post the exam, he faced harsh and unpleasant side effects.
What are the concerns about nootropics?
The lack of controlled trials.
Actually, the drug modafinil was originally developed in France in the 1970s as a treatment for narcolepsy, attention deficit disorder, and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So let me say it plainly. These limitless pills are not worth your brain. Here's the beautiful part. You can trigger the same cognitive ability as limitless pill through a pill called exercise. When you move, your brain releases BDNF, a protein that literally grows new neural concepts and lifts dopamine at the source. 20 to 30 minutes of movement upgrades your hardware for focus and motivation. So system 3, exercise, the limitless pill. Now, system 4. I'm 28 and I had one regret. That is, no one told me about manifestation, a technique I wish I knew 8 years back. Recently, I feel the changes in my action, confidence, discipline, and all growth parts of my life. So, what is manifestation? How to actually manifest? Manifestation is simply a practice of visualizing yourself achieving your goals. This visualization can strengthen your belief in your thoughts, feelings, and actions, helping you shift from a state of fear to a state of trust. That mindset can make it easier to take confident, consistent action towards your goals. Here's how to do it in 5 minutes a day. Step 1. Foundation. Be clear about your goal. Step 2. Future scripting. Open a notepad and write as your goal has already become a reality. For example, I'm so grateful that I secured All India Rank 1. My parents' faces lit up with pride. As you write, feel the emotions. Feel the pride, joy, gratitude, excitement, or whatever the emotion naturally comes up. Emotions are the key. Step 3. Practice gratitude. Take a moment to genuinely feel grateful as if your goal has already been achieved. Now, let's end this video by decoding Surabhi Gautam ma'am's secret. Ma'am had born in a small village which has a population of just 1,000 people. Ma'am studied at a local school, and in that school, the teachers never saw anyone scoring good marks. And in 5th standard, ma'am scored 100 out of 100 in maths, and her teacher told,
Teacher called me and she said that, see, I have never seen anybody scoring full marks, that too in mathematics, that too in board exam. You have done this, so I think you are going to do something good in studies.
That was the day ma'am felt appreciated, felt recognized. So,
I had given this clear message to universe that in future, all I am going to do is to be a studious girl, because with the studies,
she will get recognition and appreciation. So what just happened here? James Clear, written in Atomic Habits, Chapter 2, How Habits Change Your Identity and Vice Versa, where he describes there are 3 ways to change behavior. Outer layer is changing outcomes. Second layer is changing process. Third and deepest layer is identity. The outer layer is what we generally do. We set goals and we take actions, but the most effective method is to change our identity. Example, if you want to quit social media, then your goal is to become a person who never uses social media. If you want to exercise daily, then your goal is to become an athlete. If you want to achieve that exam, then your goal is to become a studious student, just like Surabhi ma'am did. But there is a nuance. We need to do it correctly. The Atomic Habits 2-step process to change your identity. Step 1. Decide the type of person who you want to be. Step 2. Prove it to you with small wins. Every single day when you perform the activity of that identity, even in small level, that is a proof to your identity. Example, if you want to become a studious person, every single day when you study 1 hour, that is a win. Likewise, you keep winning and spiraling up every day and eventually you will become that person.